Zhuk. We are planning today demonstrate some new functionalities and feature which we developed in this month. So the hot topic for today it's Virto Storefront, and Alla will demonstrate the new UX UI functionality which can help you build the B2B and B2C customer experience with multi-vendor and multi-step checkout capabilities. And the second topic for today is the DB Agnostic Architecture, which provides ability to you to launch Virto Commerce on different database and find the right technology for your needs. Yeah, let me pass the word to Alla.
Hey everyone, I'm grabbing the screen and I will do the live demo with explanation of what has been done recently. Here we go. You shall see my screen. Hopefully it is here. Oleg, please notify me if it's not here.
Yes, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay.
also, yeah, it's just before to start the demo. So if you have any questions, you can type it, and we can provide the answer on it today or maybe later by email. So we are open for all your questions. Yeah. Oh, please.
Yeah. Go ahead. So I will not do like the full demo of all the features of the storefront because today we are focused on the multi-step checkout, which was recently a single page checkout. Right now we can provide a solution for our customers to select either if it shall be the simpler process with one page or checkout, where all of the steps of the checkout, like the cart, the shipping address selection, the billing address, and billing type selection, all together with the comments are on the one page. I hope that some of you that already were on the previous webinars, you should have seen it. If not, I can find out maybe the designs and go to show it once again. But today I will be focused on multi-step checkout, where and it is already implemented on the storefront, and possibility to customize this multi-step checkout for the multi-supplier checkout for the client's needs. So basically, we can either provide one single page, we can provide the multi-step checkout, where all of the billing shipping details will be auto-populated for all of the suppliers, or the third and the most complicated solution where we really can allow the customers to select the shipping details and the billing details per supplier. So basically I can be the multi organization with different units, and I would like to ship to I don't know, school to one address and to provide one billing details, and to another, I don't know, school or the something else I can ship to the other place. Let's go in the cart. I already have something in cart. And I have 3 vendors here, so 3 different suppliers. Let's proceed to the checkout. I can either delete the products of the suppliers, I don't know, clear cart, etc. So all of the things that were available previously, they remain available here. I can proceed to the checkout, and here what we see that we have multiple steps. And we are on the shipping one. The step where we are will be highlighted, and I can go back to cart in case I'd like to change something or I forgot something. So all of the steps are clickable. I cannot proceed further for sure because I didn't fill the information in here, but I can return back to 1 or 2 steps. The important thing that if I'm somewhere in the middle and I need to return back to cart, for sure I need to process all the steps one by one, so we don't reinvent the wheel via extending the solution via different checks and comparison that I've changed something or not. So basically the user, if he or she is back, all the routes shall be like followed from scratch. It will for sure remind the addresses and some of the things that were already selected, but basically I have to click on the like proceed to billing, proceed to order view, payment. All of the next steps are available only by the click on the button here on the right sidebar. I already have the shipping address, which is default. Let me select the delivery method and proceed to the billing step. Here we have the billing and what you see here. So basically the shipping is for every suppliers, right? So it's the same for each of the 3 suppliers that you have already seen in cart. The complicated scenario I will show later. So we proceed to billing. I will select the bank card method. Review order, which is multi-supplier, multi-vendor with the subtotals per supplier, with the shipping addresses, with the billing address. And from here, I can place the order and pay for the order. I will not pay for it. I will keep as it is, not paid. So we will not, again, review the payment functionality because it was, I think, shown on the previous webinars. So what do we have in terms of the complicated scenario? And here I will show you the designs which were adapted for the most like flexible but most complicated stuff. This is the page from prototype. I would need to return back to the editor, to Figma editor, so I will show all the like steps. So basically, the complicated scenario provides the following. So I can send the order to single address. So if I click this, then I will see the normal behavior with the selection of the address. I do it one time, and it's populated in every vendor or supplier section. I can add the comment or delete it if it's needed. So basically, I can fill in the information, the shipping, the delivery address per supplier, right? The prototype is a bit buggy. Let me return to the editor, so I will show you the every step, not only the shipping, but the billing as well. It's gonna take time because we have here multiple screens all together with the mobile designs. So basically, this is the billing step, where we can again set a single billing address, and it's going to be populated everywhere. We can either set the same as shipping address, and it's going to be again replicated, so the user understands where does he or she ships the order and what address is selected here on the billing. So we replicate it here as well. I can change and put another address, and I can select the different payment methods per supplier or per vendor. And I will go to this section. So this is the order review step, which was again modified for the complicated scenario, where we have the supplier read-only, pre-selected on the previous steps, shipping and billing addresses and methods. And here I can uncollapse the information for the next supplier in case we have more. Then the user will see here like lines with all of the other suppliers that he or she would like to order from. I believe that this is it from the most complicated scenario. I would pause here. Oleg, help me please in case there are any questions in chat or anything else.
Unfortunately, no any open questions, I think, but maybe just question from my side. What are the next steps related to checkout flow? How do you see what kind of modification or improvements should be added into the next iteration and maybe next quarter?
Well, that's a long story. I would probably reply a bit differently, and I forgot to say about this when I was on the checkout. but I will remain here. So right now we have the dynamic payment step, which is replicated here and is connected with the payment method that I'm selecting in the checkout. Let me maybe order something. I will show you how it works. Add the cart. I don't know if we have different vendors. Yeah, we do. Shipping. Billing, and look, here I don't have any payment step because I didn't select the payment method. In case I select the bank card, so the credit card payment, here the user will see the payment, which is added dynamically based on what I have selected. In case I will select some manual, then this payment step will be removed and the checkout flow will be reconstructed, showing me that I do have only the order review step, and then the order will be completed. In case we speak about what do we do next, so the checkout will be dynamic based on the product that I would like to order. For example, the use case is the following. Imagine that we have two types of products, physical products and digital products. Digital products for sure doesn't require shipping address and selection of the shipping method. All digital products shall be shipped to my email, right? Indicated in the profile. So basically what we're going to do next with the checkout, we will modify and do the dynamic routing within the checkout based on the type of the product that I would like to purchase. Let's say if I have only digital products, then this shipping step will be removed and I will just briefly proceed for the payment. In case at least one physical product will be in my cart, then for sure I would have to process and to complete the shipping method.
Yeah, another question. Is it possible to add additional steps in the process? Just
yes.
example, upload an image for printing on T-shirts.
Yeah, so this is again in our scope in the roadmap. I will not right now speak about the deadlines when it's going to be delivered. Most probably when we plan the next webinar, we will be able to speak about that. So yeah, the whole story, in order to understand from where it goes, so the whole story was to provide to our customers the solution when the customer, the client, can modify the checkout based on the needs. Let's say, I don't know, I have only digital courses. I don't need shipping. Shipping goes out automatically with no developer resources. Imagine I would like to enter, I don't know, gifts or something, right? Which is not in the general flow, but this flow might have different sub-flows. So, hey, this is the gifts, or I don't know, loyalty. Please indicate your loyalty points before moving to the payment, right? So we can already from the storefront say user that, hey, we will provide you some opportunity to apply your loyalty, or I don't know, select the gift during the next steps.
Yeah, thank you. I think the same approach can be applied to customization on line item, because I know that one of our partners, they asked about opportunity to provide customization for line items. Instead of uploading images, they asked about to add the text, which will be printed on the T-shirts. And also it's interesting option that it's possible to you to select the same size of T-shirts, but for you it will be different T-shirts because every T-shirt has own print or image above it, and etc. I think it's also possible to customize it as well. Okay, yeah. Any other questions?
In chat, maybe?
No. Okay, let's maybe if somebody have a questions later, so you can ask and we will revert back to the Storefront design. Thank you, Alla. Yeah. And let me share my screen and switch to. Do you see my screen? I hope yes. So before to go in the details related to the diagnostic architecture, I want to say thank you to our partners who help us to verify and review this approach, as well as to pass the whole test for different modules and understand how the solution should work on different database properly. Today, I plan to pass and demonstrate what we achieved, and it's possible to download and install the latest release of Virto Commerce and check this opportunity on your local environment, as well as deploy it on your acceptance and sandbox environment. And plan to today for demonstrate how to configure Virto Commerce to use PostgreSql, but you can use another one, and how to create the diagnostic model, what we are providing and how it looks, what is the structure of Virto Commerce modules, if you plan to build the diagnostic module by yourself. Before, let me just provide some high-level information and bring some benefits and talk about Virto Commerce platform diagnostic. With this approach, we can offer unlimited scalability, so you are flexible to choose best-in-breed databases. So the same approach before we have for search engines, we build the isolations and we create the providers with Lucien, Elasticsearch, Elastic App Search, and new engines is appeared every year, and it's possible to you to choose based on your needs and preferences and receive new functionality from this product. Same approach we are offering with database now. And Virto Commerce we designed to improve your operations. Delivery, as I said, results you need to succeed. And finally, we understand it's also related to cost concern. We offer the ability to choose and select database provider, including Microsoft SQL Server, MySql, Postgre, and maybe any custom, which you can ask us. And by choosing this ideal database engine, you can, for your unique scenarios, you can decrease and cut operational costs and expenses. As well as I know, some partners already prefer for different clients, for different projects, use different databases based on the skills. We designed the diagnostic architecture with these few principles. First, it's no breaking changes. So you can update your VC platform modules as usually, and everything will work properly. Secondly, building a diagnostic system, we choose and continue to choose well-known Entity Framework 6. So it's your developers who are familiar with it, will continue to work with it, create code-first migrations, and get the benefits and receive updates from this engine. Thirdly, is the principle of provider isolations we choose. We isolate database specific code as a specific project. So this approach allows you to limit and utilize the database provider in specific place, so it's without affecting on the core project. And finally, we added support for customization and specific database provider needs. We allow you to select advantages and choose advantages of the unique features and capabilities for each database technology. So if you understand that it may bring some performance improvements and etc., so it's still possible to use this on a database provider specific layer. Yeah, let me step in and demonstrate what is required to launch Virto Commerce with PostgreSql database. First one, of course, it's here the several prerequisites as usual. So you need to install Postgre 12 and later version. You will need to have Virto Commerce CLI, VC build, and of course, Virto Commerce platform specific versions. The next one is common, but you can see it's different between current approach, how you use the Virto Commerce, and with your current solutions. So you can open your preferred file explorer and navigate to directory, create the folders. For this purpose, I created on my disk. Let me highlight it. You receive float flag from DBA. And then I launch VC build install to install the Virto Commerce platform and default Commerce bundle inside it. Let me repeat, the Virto Commerce platform and all Virto Commerce core modules already support the DB Agnostic Approach. So as a result, you can see it's also common. So you see that already to save the time, you see that my screenshot, you see that the VC build install platform install modules successfully. And I have a complete package with modules and the platform on my local machine. The second step, it's just to what we need to connect to the database provider, Postgre. Here we added a new settings in application application settings JSON file. It's the name of this attributes database provider. By default, it says SQL Server, but you are flexible to change it to any value, to MySql, to PostgreSql. So for this situation, you see I selected PostgreSql, as well as I provide properly Postgre connection string to my connection to my Postgre database. Yeah, I forgot to say that indeed I need to sign in to Postgre, run the command create database before two connections, configure it properly, so that's part of the prerequisites. And honestly, that's all. Change database provider, provide connection string. If you are planning to use the multiple connections strings based on a different database, the approach is same. So you can use the same schemas as you use for SQL Server, just need to provide and replace the SQL connection string to Postgre connection string. Same approach works properly for MySql. Just need to change database provider, provide connection string, that's all. Save it. And after this, Virto Commerce is ready to launch and work with another database. Let me stop the presentation and switch to first Visual Studio. So to save the time, you see I already open the application settings files. You see the same connection database provider name, connection string, and let me open the PowerShells. You see it already specified .NET, Virto Commerce platform web DLL. I can just launch it. All other elements work as before. So the platform is loading, is starting. While it's starting, let me switch to the browser and open the Postgre admin panel. So you see that I created a new database before Virto Commerce is installed, created the tables inside it based on the modules as before for SQL Server. And you can see that platform is started, right? So let me go to copy this endpoint, open it in the browser. Let me, so you see it's nothing changed. So everything works properly as before. What is just changed, it's related, if you click on the version of Virto Commerce and open platform information, you can scroll down and see the database provider. So you see for this one, database provider is PostgreSql. All other elements related to modules, API, business logic, native extensibility framework, and etc. works properly. Honestly, that's all. So it's just you need to pass the steps, and Virto Commerce can be connected and worked with MySql, Postgre, and SQL Server, and database engine which needed and which for your needs. Yeah, let me slightly clarify and provide more information about creating a custom model with DB Agnostic Approach, right? So it's I know that if you what was changed and what kind of nodes you need to keep in mind if you plan to create and plan to use the Virto Commerce modules after these updates, or if you plan to create your custom module with specific needs. For example, if you plan to create the model which works with PostgreSql. Now you can see that structure of Virto Commerce module is slightly changed. The data project is responsible for core entity and database modules. For code first and entity framework model, so we can specify and define the different attributes for entity framework as well. But unique functionality, migrations, the database context factory, and additional extension are stored in separated projects. You can see that all functionality related to MySQL specific, Postgres specific, or SQL specific servers stored in specific projects, so provide isolations and you just isolation and creation to specific elements for specific database provider. Here we can find the very clean structure, and this structure is very well known and one for every modules. It contains, for every product, it contains database context factory, which are responsible to create and initialize the backend text properly for migration builder. Here, README file, which provides information how to create and build and add a new migration using package manager or via entity framework core command. So it's both approaches supported. But my favorite one is using this approach to use .NET entity framework tool and add this migration because it's easily to launch and easily to apply and works properly. And of course, it's database context extensions, which we use to initialize part of system startup and module startup. I will just demonstrate it later. If you look on other modules, you see that structure is same, it's clean, so it's just specific elements which you can copy and use in part of your module, but structure is same. And only migrations, which are dependent on specific provider and generated for specific provider stored in these models. The next key elements for us, it's module registration and context initialization. So the structure is same, and every module should which support the DB Agnostic Approach should start with this, which are responsible for initialization of different database provider and different database settings depend on the database provider configuration. You see it reads the data from configurations, read connection string. Here you can see that connection string can be defined on global layer or per module. So it's every module has own database connection string and use own database. And the next one, it's configuration, which use helpers to initialize different database specific connections from this project. And final step, which allow us to provide some customization adjustments. We understand that schema and code first module can depend on database engine. For example, it's MySQL doesn't support money type, which works properly for Postgre and SQL Server. For these implementations, database context should be extended with this code, which allow to execute and apply configuration for specific entity and override behavior for specific provider. You can see that it's native code first model, which defines different attributes as well as the code first attributes already applied. But if we need to override behavior and configuration for specific data provider. This defined the custom configuration for MySQL provider and for currency entity. What is required? We just need to create specific class. For my case, it's currency entity configurations and implement this interface. In part of these methods, we can change and define the attributes to provide ability to generate write migrations for specific database. For my case, for my example, it's override the attributes for exchange property. So you see that it defined type decimal, precisions, and here you are flexible to override any core modifications if you need to adjust it and modify, as well as apply any custom attributes for specific database provider needs. So the final resolution, it's clean isolation for between core functionality, which are responsible for entity framework and database provider specific needs. Small adjustments which need to apply for database initialization and for database context. You can see that no more relations from data product on any Microsoft SQL Server dependency. So it's database agnostic architecture, and all data related to services, implementation, repositories here are database agnostic. Of course, we and our
Alex, sorry, may I
can use you can, yeah.
You have some bad network connection, I believe.
Okay, well, let me just maybe restart my garniture. So that's
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you hear me better?
Yes, you're back.
Yeah, and finally my Teams crashed, so I think it was both problem on in network connection and Teams issue. Where did you lost me?
Well, hard to say. I believe that right now I see just the black screen. You were on the page with some print screens, the previous one, I believe. The black ones.
Okay, so it's... Do you see my screen?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Yeah, So anyway, so if you miss and maybe lost some, I will, after this presentations and after this webinar, we will share the PDF presentation so you can find this information and step-by-step instruction as well. So it's help you to save it. So let me repeat, the structure is more clean. So it's just few adjustment. And also we are providing an extended our model templates for .NET. One of them is model DB Agnostic template. If you create any project by using this template, you will have the clean structure and write methods inside it, which help you to create the module. I know that in your client solutions, in your client projects, it's not necessary to support all, right? So you can easily remove to not required database providers and implement only migrations for these providers which you need. Yeah, so this here is a data project structure and type of migrations and etc. Right here, it's also common questions which I received before. It's related how to transform our custom model to support the agnostic approach. Usually, it's easily to do it. You can find in review our commit for our modules, but usually it's you need to pass these 10 steps, but usually it takes no more than 10 or maybe 15 minutes because it's related to add new projects with right references on the Git packages, copy common files for builder extension, for the context factor and readme file, generate migrations, extend that new code in part of as I mentioned, in model initialize and model create to provide ability of customization, and also refactor or isolate raw SQL server code for specific providers if you have someone of them. So it's possible to implement it. And compile, compress, and test. Thanks to Entity Framework, it provides a lot of adjustment and modifications and takes a lot of responsibility for migrations, for data transformation between different databases, and etc. So it works as out of box and works properly. That's all, I think, from my side for today. And any questions? Anyway, if you have any questions later, so you can contact us and submit to our help desk or contact me or Ale directly. And we will try to answer on any of your questions, new features requests, and etc. We are open for it. And I hope these two topics related to multi-step checkout and the DB agnostic approach you can find useful for your projects and also open the door to new opportunities and new way and new options how to use Virto Commerce solutions in your projects. So thank you very much for today and see you later.
Thanks, Oleg. Thanks, everyone, and have a nice day. In case you have any questions, please return back.